I'm going to mute everybody so that we don't have background noise. Okay, hi Bobby, welcome. Welcome everybody to this masterclass. My name's Diana Morgan. This is Whole Heart Marketing. I'm the founder of Whole Heart Marketing and founder of the Whole Heart Social Media Success Formula: what to say, where to play, and how to win. Intentional social media for purpose-driven entrepreneurs. You can get this on Amazon. And I am so happy to have everybody here today. We have about 30 people registered, and I know some people are watching the recording. So, hello to the people who are watching the recording. And I'm super excited about this class. I think that one of the things that I have noticed with a lot of people over the past few months is what I'm calling the vulnerability of visibility. And how it manifests is in inconsistency, in overwhelm, in confusion. I see people nodding. In just the whole frustration of social media. Anybody like so frustrated with social media? Anybody like wish social media would go away? And then you wouldn't have to do it. And yes, thank you for the honesty. This is the truth room. And what my goal is for today is to really help you to understand what you do need to do, what you get to stop doing, and how to really have success with social media. So, Whole Heart Marketing, just for some of you who are new to Whole Heart Marketing, is a proven systems based approach to authentic, heart centered marketing to build continued, consistent, credible visibility and influence with strategic partners, clients, and followers while leveraging your time and resources to generate consistent income and make a bigger impact. I have been teaching people how to use social media for about 20 years. I've been doing this for a long time. I started out building websites, SEO, and all that inner geek stuff. And just to give you a little bit of how I got into all of this, I started this through success with my own business. And what happened for me was I decided to start using my skills as my spiritual skills, my holistic skills, and my inner geek skills to teach people who are healing the world with who they are and their businesses. And so those are mostly my clients, mostly women and a few smart men. And and I help people who are just struggling, just show me what to do and let go of all the fluff. So that's what we're here today to do. And I'm going to give you as much information as I can. I'm also going to tell you how you can continue to work with me. And I will provide the recording for you because I know I'm going to give you a ton of information and you'll want to get the recording. So you can either take copious notes like crazy, or you can just be engaged and listen and have the recording. So, the visibility shift that has happened in 2026 is really about presence, engagement, authentic influence in the age of AI. And we are going to talk about AI because it's really important. I actually teach a whole class on how to use AI to have more success with your online marketing, but we're not going to do that today. I'm just going to refer to it. And so, what the shift is that posting no longer equals visibility. Engagement is replacing volume, and AI has raised the noise level so that human presence needs to cut through. Okay, so that's what we're going to talk a lot about. I am about free organic reach. Free organic reach is it's not ads, it's showing up as a person. And yes, while it does take longer and it is more time consuming, it can really be more rewarding. And if you are somebody who is using social media to build relationships, to have referrals and clients, this is a very powerful strategy. Um, Especially if you are branding yourself, selling yourself, if you will. So the internet is a 24/7 network. It's just like if you go to a networking event, but it's 24/7. So again, this is the truth room, and I'm going to ask you to ask yourself, how do you show up? Are you consistent? Do you show up occasionally? Are you excited? Or does it just feel like a big should? Like, ugh, I just don't want to do this, but I got to do it. Because here's the thing, everything is energy. We are all connected energetically. So if you're showing up with an energy of, I don't want to do this, I hate social media, I don't want to be here, then that's what people are picking up energetically from you. And if you're showing up with, oh boy, I get to meet some new people, get to connect with some people that I already know, and love I love to use social media to make a bigger impact, then that energy is what's going to show up. And I think, like, once I've told you this now, you're going to start to notice this in other people, and you're going to start to notice it probably ruined your social media for you, because now you're going to know. You're going to know who's happy to be there. You're going to know who's just phoning it in. You're going to know who's using their VA to interact with you, all of that, and you can tell, and I can tell when it's someone's VA asking me the question, and I generally skip right by it. So it's just an opportunity for you to look at yourself, because the very first thing I want to say is that social media is a very powerful tool. So it can be the most annoying thing that ever walked the face of the earth, and it can be a powerful force for positive change in the world. And the thing that I want to explain to you right here, right now. So the thing about the internet that people don't understand, so like, oh, Facebook's, doing this and that, and Facebook's in control, and well, guess what? There's two components to social media, whatever platform you're on, just the internet in general. There's two components to the internet, okay? There's user generated content. That's us. That's what we do, how we show up. It's our videos, it's our posts, it's our how we engage a conversation. So that's part of it. And the other half is ads, okay? So if we don't show up, then social media is just about ads. So what the platforms do is they entice us as the user generated content to show up. Okay. So how they do that is they're like, okay, if you do videos, we'll put you higher up in the algorithms. If you do reels, we'll make your reels show more. If you post the right words, we'll show the right people your content. So that's how they entice us to play in a way that they want us to play. But the bottom line is that we will always have control, and we will always have the opportunity to show up as humans. And that is my commitment to social media. My mission is to raise the consciousness of social media so that we can use social media to raise consciousness and elevate humanity. And we will always be able to do that. If you stop playing the algorithm game and play the connection, and thank you, and play the connection and the relationship game, your experience on social media is going to change, because you're going to start to like it, and you're going to start to get more connections. And that's what I'm going to talk about today. So who's excited? Who made it, had a little tiny bit of a shift? Okay, good. Thank you. Okay. So the vulnerability of visibility, just let these phrases be in you for a moment and raise your hand if you relate to any of them. It's overwhelming. It's confusing. It moves so fast. I don't even really know what works. I feel invisible. I can't be that person. Yes, thank you. Me too. Honestly, a lot of these. And I want to talk about the big one, which is I can't be that person. Is that, guess what? You don't have to be that person. You don't have to be that, like, oh, I'm so like blah, 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 to do videos. You can just be yourself. Some of my most powerful videos that I get the highest visibility on are when I'm just talking about stuff. I'm just showing up. Okay, so you don't have to be that person. You can be yourself. You can be your beautiful, awesome, heart-centered, authentic self and show up on social media and be visible. So who felt a little bit of like their shoulders dropped a little bit with that one? Yeah, I mean, it's like that was a big one for me, was I can't be that person. I'm never gonna do that stuff on video. I'm just never gonna do it. And because it's just not me. It's not my brand, it's not who I am, and it's not how I want to brand myself. It's not even that I probably could force myself to do it, but that's just not who I am. So yes, you don't have to be that person. Your people are not looking for more content. They're looking for you. Okay, that is the truth. Presence creates connection, which creates clients. And that's the tricky thing, is that you can't pay someone to be you on social media. You can pay someone to do a lot of things to help you. And I teach people how to use a VA, how to hire a VA, what to tell the VA to do. I used to have my own company, my own done for you company. And I just realized, you know what? People need to learn how to hire their own VA and what to tell them to do. And so I do teach people how to fish in that way. But it's like, you cannot pay someone to be you. You have to show up and be present. So there's two ways to show up. There's performance based, which is, what should I say? You know, like you get on social media and start scrolling and you're just like, what should I say? Or there's presence led, which is, what is true and real and authentic for me? What can I, drop into my knowing of who I am and say that is real and authentic? And I absolutely know that every single person that I interact with, whether you're here today, you're on this video, you're on social media, the 2+ billion people, every 4+ billion people, every single one of us has something to say. And our voice matters and our message matters. So it's really just about, how do you want to say it? And how do you want to show up? What is true and authentic and real for you? What is your intention on social media? Is it new connections? Is it networking with existing connections, referrals, clients? Is it inspiration? I love all the quotes. I get on social media sometimes and I love to look at the quotes. They inspire me. Is it education? Is it finding out what's happening? Because if it is, you should be looking at least 3 other sources of what's happening too, to make sure you're getting what's really happening. Is it connecting with family and friends? Okay, so why are you on social media? And, if it is business and if it is to grow your business, then you want to be clear about that intention. And all of these other things can be true as well. So why do so many entrepreneurs feel invisible right now? Guess what? It's not you, it's them. Okay, so it's not you. AI has multiplied content volume like exponentially. So there's so much content. But more content does not mean more attention and more visibility. The algorithms are rewarding interaction signals. Okay. When you show up, when you play, I like to say play because I think it gives us the right mindset. When you show up and you play on social media, that the bots and the algorithms see that. And that's when we say they reward you, you get higher visibility. You get shown to more people. So while I don't play the algorithm game, I'm going to talk about how you get higher up in the algorithms, because the things that I teach get you higher in the algorithms so you don't have to be playing that game. Visibility today isn't a content problem. It's a connection problem. I had an experience yesterday. I was on LinkedIn and this woman made a really great post and she made a great analogy. And then all the people that commented on it were very thought-provoking comments. It wasn't like, yeah, that's really, it was like real comments. And I was really inspired by it. And I was also inspired to comment and share my own experience. And instead of at the end of my post, sometimes I'll say, thank you for posting. Yesterday, I was compelled to say, thank you for the conversation. And it was like, oh, interesting. I'm like, it just came out naturally. Instead of thank you for the post, thank you for the conversation, because it felt like a great conversation. And I saw that even my comment on her post got very high visibility, which was, yeah, I just noticed it because I was looking at my numbers. So the evolution of authenticity in the age of AI. How many are using AI already? Okay. And how many can't wait to use it? Okay, it's fine. All right. The evolution of authenticity. The old authenticity was just be real. Just be real. Just say real things. New authenticity is have a clear voice, clear perspective, and a clear presence. Because AI can help you create content. It can't replicate your energetic signature. And clarity, because there's so much content now, clarity is crucial. It's crucial to be clear in your voice, your perspective, and your presence. So the visibility for framework for 2026 and beyond, the presence, okay? Think about presence, how you show up energetically, not just visually, which we talked about. Clarity, your message becomes the filter that attracts the right people. Engagement, real conversations signal relevance both to humans and to the platforms. And you can see that. You can see when real conversations are happening. And they're few and far between, but I'm going to tell you how to find more of them today. Attraction. Visibility becomes transformation, not content. So there's sort of a leadership shift start, happening in social media. And we are evolving as humans along with social media is evolving. So we are asking that of each other. We are begging that of each other. How many of you are like, "Oh my God, just give me some real content, something that I can dig my teeth into, or sink my teeth into, something that I can really comment on." I mean, for me, it's like I don't just comment to comment. I need to be compelled to comment. So when I feel compelled to comment, when I lean in, and I mean, sometimes I just care about a person and I'm happy for them and I'll comment in that way. But when people are posting like thought-provoking things, I have to really feel it. And that's why I discourage people from doing like what I call the engagement bait, like, Brussels sprouts, yes or no. I'm not going to comment on that. I know you're just doing that for the algorithm. But if you put a question in there that if I feel like you really care what I think, I'm going to respond. Or if you put a comment, I'm going to respond if I feel like you really care. So the leadership shift is stop asking, how do I get seen? And start asking, what do I see? And this is a lot of what we're going to be talking about today. Start being more intentional with your social media. The truth is, the goal is not really becoming more visible. It's becoming more accurately seen. Because guess what? Here's a staggering thought for all of you. Even if people aren't liking, commenting on, or sharing your content, they're still seeing it. And if you want to know if that's true or not, notice like when it's your birthday, or notice if you put something really deep that's happening to you, or if you put a really truthful post. Like I had the funniest experience. So I have 3 grandchildren now. And a couple of weeks ago, I got to have, well, this was before the first one. The third one was just born a few weeks ago. But so it was about a month ago, I got to take the two that were born myself. So they were 3.5 and 2. And I got to have them myself at my house. And I had like 2 car seats in my car. And I'm not allowed to post pictures of the kids because, those millennials, they're in witness protection, which honestly, I say that, but I don't disagree. So I don't post pictures of the kids. So, but I posted the car seats and I said, and talked about getting to take care of my grandkids and having them for the first time alone because they're a handful. And I want to tell you, I got so many comments. I think I got like 2,700 views and comments on that post. And it was just like sharing something that was personal for me, but it wasn't too vulnerable or overexposed that I felt like, I don't share things where I feel too vulnerable or overexposed. It wasn't political, it wasn't controversial. It was just sharing my joy. And, when you do something like that, you're going to get so many comments and views. And because people are starved for the real, the authentic, they want to know you, and they're going to buy you before they buy anything you're doing. And they're going to want to know who you are. And so many people were putting about identifying and all their grandchildren and all that. It was very cool. So that being said, it also is about becoming more accurately seen as who you are in your business. For example, yeah, I do social media, me and 80 bazillion other people. But for me, being accurately seen is I want people to get that social media for me is a passion. It's a mission. It's not just I do social media, And so what is that for you? Is like I sell XYZ, or is that, what is your passion around that? What is your why? And that's what people want to see. And that's how you become more visible. So the future belongs to those who are clear, grounded, and present. The biggest shift in 2026, engagement is the new visibility currency. Conversation depth, time spent interacting, and relationship signals. And this is, although I am not playing the algorithm game, this is what the algorithm picks up. When you make a comment and numerous other people comment and you respond, that's when that's what activates people, and it activates the algorithm. So visibility is no longer follower based. This happened last year. It's actually engagement based. Your audience is not just watching, they're participating. So your message matters more than ever, and it matters more than your size. Small creators with clear presence win, and the algorithm now promotes relevance over popularity. And this is a new trend in social media. So it's, you want to have followers and you want to have friends and connections and all that, but that's not going to determine your success on social media, because you can have 10,000 followers, but if they're not the right followers and they're not engaged, you're not going to get very much from it. And you can have 500 followers, and if they're the right engaged followers, you're going to get more from it. So just to summarize what happened last year with this shift in social media, and this is on all platforms, 50% or more of the content that you see is suggested from you from people you've never heard of. Okay. So if you notice how many more people are following you, how many more people are seeing your content, and how many more people are requesting to be friends, it's because the determining factor is your content. The social media platforms are looking at what you're saying, the content that you're showing, and then they're going out and seeing who might be interested in that content based on what other people are posting. So if the algorithm thinks a person is interested in the content, it's more likely that it's going to show up in their feed, even if they're not a follower. Okay. So have you ever not been on your social media for a while, and then you come back to your social media and you're like, wait, am I sometimes I'll look to see if I'm using my business page instead of my personal page or something, because there's so much stuff on there that I am not familiar with. And that could happen in 2 days. Okay. Because that's what the algorithms are doing. So that's what I do, is I'm here to help you stand in your message, lead with presence, and build visibility that feels aligned and not exhausting. So what's losing power right now in social media? Posting constantly without purpose. One of the things that I hear people, I'll say, hey, how's your social media doing? And they're like, oh, I'm posting all the time and nothing's happening. So here's in my perfect world, I ask you how your social media is doing, and you're like, well, I'm engaging with people, I'm making more connections and building relationships, and I'm getting all kinds of new clients and connections and opportunities. That's my perfect world. And that is what a person could say about a networking event, right? You go to networking events, you show up, you make connections, you build relationships, you get opportunities, you get clients and referrals. And it's the same thing that you can do on social media by showing up authentically. So another thing that's losing power is over-polished AI content. We all know what the AI content is. In my class, I teach, start out your prompts by saying, don't use AI jargon. Don't make the content AI. And you always want to reread your content before you post it. Do not ever post anything straight from AI. Performing for the algorithm, big waste of time, and generic educational content. Notice it says generic. Educational content is still really, 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 really valuable. Generic educational content is not. So it's educational content that has to do with your topic, with your brand. What does build visibility now? Clear message with a strong point of view, real engagement before and after posting, and we're going to talk about this in a few minutes. Human voice and emotional resonance, Conversations instead of broadcasts. So conversation is where everybody's, you're going back and forth versus the broadcast, like I did this or I did that. And I mean, I'm not saying don't do that. I do it, I share about things I've been doing, but also engage in conversations. I want to say at least 25-30% of my social media activity is behind the scenes engaging in conversation. It's not posting on my social media. So just brief summary of Facebook best practices. I'm going to talk about a class that I offer, and in our class, in fact, we just did a extensive Facebook refresher. We do a LinkedIn refresher, but for right now, I'm going to give you some general comments about Facebook best practices. Groups are better than pages, which doesn't mean you don't need a page. You need a business page. Your business page on social media is basically like your social media website. And you need to have it, and you need to have it populated with relevant content. But groups are going to be, if you have a group on Facebook and you're willing to put the time into it, more people are going to see your posts in a group than see your posts on the business page. On your personal page, that's a whole other conversation we're going to talk about in a minute, but I'm talking about your business page. Conversation versus broadcast, we talked about. Comment-driven reach is what you want. You want reach where people are commenting and conversing and engaging with your content. And when you do have a post and people comment, what you want to do is spread out your responses. So say you have like 50 comments, do like 5 or 10 each day, respond to them, because then every time you respond to people's comments, it keeps the conversation going and it brings the post back up to the top of the feed. So you don't want to do them all in the same day. Like birthdays, that could take you like 2 weeks to comment on all the birthdays, but you want to do it. You want to comment on all the posts. And native posts, which are instead of just like super polished ad looking posts, just a regular post like videos, articles, and images, they perform best for organic and paid reach. Okay, LinkedIn. What's working best on LinkedIn? Thoughtful text posts. And actually on Facebook too, long form posts are actually doing well. And when you do a long form post, you always want to have a picture, because that's what draws people in to start to look at it. So a picture of yourself is nice, have some nice selfies and different photos, but long form posts are really good. And you can repurpose that content. So you could have a blog and then you could get ChatGPT to repurpose it into a long form post. And then you could repurpose that into a newsletter, just changing it up, and so you don't have to create all this content on your own. You can totally get Chat to, or whatever, Claude to work with you. But you want to make sure to always reread the content and always have it be in your lane and relevant. And keywords, because the keywords and the keyword phrases are what's going to tell the platforms who to show your content to. Industry conversations, especially on LinkedIn, and relationship first DMs. I'm going to say that again. Relationship first DMs, not, hey, want to come to my thing DMs, but relationship first. Even just like, hey, Stephanie, great seeing you at this event last week. Or, hey, Whitney, would love to share with you about a networking event I attend that I think you might enjoy. Not about your stuff, but about other things. Okay. I had an experience yesterday. I'm telling you, somebody I don't even know did an incredible book review of my book on um on her LinkedIn and tagged me. And she said she just bought it. She did a review. I don't even know her. And so I thanked her. I connected with her. Other people were commenting. That, lifting somebody up and tagging them, so powerful. Okay, personal insights outperform corporate tone. We know that. And less is more. So especially on LinkedIn, less is more. We're going to talk about hashtags in a little while, but with hashtags, 3 to 5 hashtags. And even on Facebook, 3 to 5 hashtags. And anytime you can incorporate the hashtag into your content, like yesterday, I went to a hashtag marketing conference or a hashtag social media conference as opposed to at the bottom, that's even better. And then add a couple more at the bottom. For me, I usually add my business and my name, and I do my social media success formula book, the name of my book. But I mean, truthfully, in the next 6 months or next year, hashtags are going away because of AI, but it's not yet time, so keep doing it. Instagram best practices. Carousels are still dominate. Reels must feel human. I did an experiment where I did a reel, uh, total AI. I had an AI person do the reel, and I did this exact same thing. Fumbled through it. I did it myself. Got way more visibility on the reel myself than the AI. So yeah, I mean, I personally, when I see AI reels, I skip past them unless they're recipes. I like the recipes on Instagram. Okay, stories build trust. So stories are great, and stories on Instagram, on LinkedIn and Facebook as well. And saves signal value when somebody saves your content. So if you're sharing great content, recommend that people save it because that signals value to the algorithms and to other people. The AI authenticity evolution. AI can help you organize and accelerate your ideas. It cannot replace your perspective, and it's a powerful tool to amplify your real voice. Okay, so I know that a lot of people have it's a big controversial thing right now, but again, like I always say, every sweet hath its sour. Okay, so we can use it in a positive way. I mean, it's coming up with all kinds of amazing medical cures too. So it's like it can be a positive thing, and we can use it as a positive thing. But don't ever take content straight from AI. Always make it your own. Always infuse your voice. AI gives you reach, and presence gives you impact. So you don't need to be louder. You need to be clearer, consistent, and more connected. So I want to really highlight this strategy. Like, especially after this call today, you're going to have some insights into your messaging and different things if you haven't used your social media for a while or if you haven't reviewed all your profiles. So I want to encourage you to complete your profile with a clear bio and contact information. Create attractive visuals, compelling captions, use keywords and keyword phrases. Keyword phrase is a 2 to 3 word phrase for better searchability, and consistently update your profile. Guess what? I update my profiles about every 30 days. I go in, I look at my descriptions, I look at my about, and on my website too, because we are human evolving people. So every time you evolve and change and grow in your business, you want to make sure your social media is current. So, and also, oh my goodness, I found this out yesterday. So when I knew this was happening on Facebook, but I didn't know it was happening on LinkedIn, when the social media platforms update, when they do some kind of a big change and update things, they set a lot of things back to default settings. So like I went in there yesterday, I had filled in all my services on LinkedIn, they were all gone. I went into Facebook last week, and on my business page, all my links were gone. It's like they do these things with the settings. And so you have to go in there about once a month and make sure all your links work, make sure everything's correct, make sure, you might have realized, oh, I got a new certification, or I got a new title, or I had a new accomplishment that I haven't shared on LinkedIn. So make sure everything is current about once a month. So social media platforms favor people who are active participants. Stay present consistently, engage with your audience before you post. Engagement is visibility. Respond promptly to comments and messages and mentions whenever anybody mentions you. I mean, if I hadn't been watching my mentions and people tagging me, I wouldn't have seen that woman who gave me the most amazing testimonial of my book. Okay, presence builds trust faster than content volume. So show up, comment, share people's posts, show appreciation, lift people up. Consistency is about rhythm, not exhaustion. And we're going to talk about that more in a minute. Okay, you could read my book to learn about the Whole Heart Social Media Success Strategy. but I mean, the success formula. But today I want to talk about it in relation, I'm going to give you the short version. So, this is something that developed over the last 20 years of me doing what I do. It's not something I just made up or somebody told me. It is what I have done to build my successful online practice. I built my book got a #1 international bestseller status. I was up to like 70,000 views a day. I mean, this is what I do. So the way I break it down, marketing is about inspiring people to take action on your expertise. So marketing is not sales. And that's a lot of times what people get frustrated with about social media is they're like, I'm not getting any clients because they're just pumping out these salesy posts. And that's not what it's about. It's about inspiring people to take action on the thing you know they need. So you meet them where they are and you bring them to your transformation through your engagement, through education, and through invitation. So the 50% of the time that you're on social media is to be connecting, to be you, to engage, build relationships, and share your core message. This is where you're going to be playing. This is the part that you can't pay someone else to do. 40% of the time, well, let's just go back to this for a minute. So on Facebook, you have your business and your personal page. So on your personal profile, you're engaging. And when you're engaging and liking, commenting, and all that, you're doing that from your personal profile. Like, think about it. Like, Diana Konkoff Morgan loves your post. Whole Heart Marketing loves your post. Who's Whole Heart Marketing and who cares if they love my post, right? It's like it's about being personal. So you're playing from your personal profile. And this is where I'm asking you to go back to the very beginning when I said, what is your intention on social media? And if your intention on social media is to grow your business, to make a bigger impact, you want to be thinking about that in terms of, like, a lot of people are like, oh, well, I just do my family stuff on my personal page. But it's like, you're going to put in a lot of time and effort and money and energy into your social media to grow your online presence. And you have to think about what are your priorities and what are you using it for. So it might cause you to not share things that are activating and distraction from your message, maybe, politics, religion, things that distract from your message. It might cause you to decide, like, all right, I'm not going to use this for my family. I'm going to have like a private group, although there's nothing private on social media. But you have to decide. Each person has to decide for themselves what you're using your social media for. Which doesn't mean you can't be personal. It just means, like, I can't post pictures of my grandkids, and I can't, and I don't share things that I'm super vulnerable about. I share personal things, but not something that I'm super vulnerable about. And that's just me. Everybody gets to do exactly what they want to do. So, but hopefully it's in support of your brand and your mission. So 50% of the time, that's what you're doing. So on your personal page, you're sharing your personal. On your business, you're sharing your business. And you can share business on your personal profile on Facebook, and the same thing on the half of LinkedIn that's the personal. Share your passion for your business, share accomplishments, share things you're excited about, share your why, share your values. All of those are things that you can share on your personal profile that are about your business. And same thing. So LinkedIn, you kind of divide it half and half. Just you have to divide it. And same thing with Instagram or wherever else you're playing. 40% of the time you are serving. You're teaching, leading, inspiring, and motivating. So this is where you're sharing the why is it important? Why is what you're selling important? Why should people care what you're selling? You're sharing your expertise. You're positioning yourself as an expert in your field. And then that's 90% of the time you're building influence. So then 10% of the time you are inviting to something, the next step. And I recommend it be something free. If it fits for you and your business, I recommend that it be some kind of a free live virtual training like this. Like, this is my invitation. I do this every month. I give a ton of content and I invite people to take the next step with me. And it's like, it's a way for people to get to know me And it's a way for people to experience how it would be to work with me. The difference is if you were actually working with me, if we were in a class, there's more interaction. This is more like a webinar-ish, but still you're getting an idea of how it would be to work with me. So that's 10% of your time. So here's what happens sometimes. Sometimes people they don't do the 40%, they don't do the 50%, and they're like, oh, well, I have this workshop. I'll just post the flyer. I'll post the content. I'll invite people to my workshop. Then it's 100% promotion. So you have to do all of these pieces to make this formula work. So the 50% engagement, it's follow, love, comment, share, and care. Connect, acknowledge, respond, and engage. Okay, so participate in the conversation. This is a good screenshot, this particular page. So let's talk about time online, okay? Playing online and how, when are people online? Okay, so I want everybody to take a deep breath, get in your body, because what I'm going to tell you is that I recommend that you spend an hour a day doing this 50% online playing. And I know that some of you went out of your body when I said that and said, are you kidding me, Diana? I have work to do. So here's the thing. It's not an hour straight. It's 15 minutes 4 times a day. And what that 15 minutes is, it is playing, it's engaging, it's building relationships. Okay. So if you were actually getting connections, leads, opportunities, speaking opportunities, if you were getting those things, clients from that 15 minutes 4 times a day, would it be worth it to you? And think about that for yourself. If you're like, no, I'm sorry, it wouldn't, then you probably want to think about your business model. But I mean, it can be, I spend way more than that. Why? Because I get a ton of opportunities. I'm not on there scrolling. I'm going to talk to you in a minute about how to be on there 15 minutes a day. I'm not scrolling and looking at everybody else's stuff. I'm on there with intention. Okay. So when you are on 4 times a day, you're going to see when your people are on, because you're going to post something and they're going to comment, and you can comment right back. And the sooner you comment, the higher up you get in the algorithms. Okay. So if someone posts something and you comment 2 days later, you're not going to get as much as if you comment right after they post. So it is, I mean, if you think about that 15 minutes and what the return could be for you, that's what I want you to think about. Not like clicking on Facebook and I've fallen into Facebook and I can't get out, or watching YouTube videos for 2 hours. That's not what I'm talking about. Okay, so clarity attracts your ideal client. You want to think about, who are you speaking to? What are they going through? And how do you help them? So focus. One person, one problem, one conversation. And if you have numerous ideal clients, then you want to do campaigns. So it's a series of actions toward a goal. So you have a campaign that's for like maybe one group, and then you do that for a month or two, and then you do a different campaign. Because if you're posting all different things all the time to try to get everybody, then it confuses people. And you have 2 seconds to engage people. So when they land on your content, they're going to be confused and they're going to move on by. So the clarity is, you ask yourself, what are they struggling with right now? What do they need from me today? And what will resonate in their feed? Because you want them to say, this is for me. That's what builds the trust and engagement. You want them to lean in and say, oh, Lisa gets me. Beth has the solution to my problem. She gets what my problem is. I know she has a solution. So that's what you want people to say. So when you open your social media and you start with LinkedIn or Facebook or wherever you are, you don't just start scrolling. You think first, what are they struggling with? What do they need from me? Actually, first you think, who am I talking to? Then you say, what is the struggle? What do they need from me? And what's going to resonate with them? So the next thing I want to encourage you, invite you to do is to stop the scroll. Stop doom scrolling, stop scrolling, stop it. Just stop it. Remember, what's his name? Bob Newhart. Stop it. Just stop it. Okay. So what do you do instead? Pick 5 people a week to create and deepen connections with. Who are these people? And this is a great screenshot. They're active on social media. They're active networkers. They offer a different service to the same target market, or they offer the same service, but they're different than you. Okay. Like whenever I meet people who say I do social media, I always connect with them because I know we don't do the same things. And I know that I'm going to be able to refer people to them and they're going to refer people to me. They have similar values in their messaging, so we will both want to share each other's content. Where do you find these people? They're your friends on Facebook. They're in the groups that you're already playing in. Okay. What do you want to do with these people? You're going to be, again, liking, commenting, sharing their content. You're going to be, and when you share their content, what you want to do is share it as an original post. Copy the content, copy the image, share it on your social media, and then tag them. Because otherwise, it's not a win-win. But it's if you click the share button, you don't get very much visibility anymore. So you want to share it as an original post and tag them and say thanks for sharing and make a little comment about it. Lift them up, say something about them. You could connect with them on Messenger, but only to build relationship, not to promote. So if you started picking 5 people a week, here's what will happen. Few people will play, few people won't. And you will, but then you'd pick 5 people the next week and the next week, and you keep picking 5 people for a number of months. And what's going to happen is you're going to start to like what's in your feed, because what's going to be in your feed, you're telling the algorithms what you want in your news feed. You want these people's stuff in your news feed, and you're going to start liking to seeing your notifications. And one of the things I want to just show you really quick that's very cool. Can you guys see my Facebook? Okay, if you go to your, oops, I just did, hold on. All right. If you go to your friends on Facebook, you can see to the left of each, to the right of each friend is 3 little dots. And these 3 little dots, if you click on it, you can mark them your favorite. Okay, now Kathy Uros is my favorite. Now what's going to happen is her content is going to show up higher in my feed so that I can start kind of keeping an eye on her. And you can do this with 30 people. So, and guess what? If I unfavorite her, she doesn't know. So you can do this with 30 people. So once you start picking your 5 people, you can connect with them on Facebook, friend them, and put the star so that their content is going to show up first in your feed. And the other thing is that you can also tell people if you meet someone and you start getting connected, hey, show them how to do that, and then your stuff will show up higher in their feed. But also, just if you start liking and commenting on their content, your stuff is going to show up higher in their feed. So this is how basically I got my book to #1 bestseller. I basically started building these relationships with people who were strategic partners. And it's how I got out of hating Facebook. And it's how I started to really have success. And it's not just Facebook, because once you connect with them on Facebook, connect with them on all platforms. If you want to start on LinkedIn, if you're more on LinkedIn, start on LinkedIn and then connect on all the platforms that you're on. But the bottom line is to be consistent. So every Monday, you pick your 5 people and, keep playing with the ones who play with you and let go of the ones who don't. For this, I mean, you can still be friends. So what do you do? These are the 15-minute segments. I talked about the 4 15-minute segments. This is another great screenshot. You're going to check your notifications because people are going to start commenting. And once you start commenting and doing all this with people's posts, they're going to do the same thing back to you, because that's what we do, right? Oh, Bobby liked my post. I'm going to go see what she's up to. So explore who you've played with in the past, like, comment, share, make one in-depth comment. What can you share of their content? make another in-depth comment, and make some other comments. This is a 15-minute segment 4 times a day. And then you're going to start to get into this habit. You could do it on your phone. You have 15 minutes a day that you can do this 4 times. I know you do. It's just a matter of not thinking it will matter, and it will matter. It will make a difference. Okay, so another strategy is to collaborate with influential people in your community and your industry. I know people like talk about like the posting parties and all of that. This is kind of the collaborations, but the collaborations, I want to encourage you to do posting. If you're going to do that, post with people who are in your lane as opposed to just anybody, because you want your content to show up in people's posts who are in your lane. Collaborate with complementary brands, to reach a broader audience, share and promote each other's content, partner with people in your lane. Build relationships to build influence. Human presence builds visibility and reach. Show up consistently, stay connected, and be curious. I can't even tell you how important it is to show up consistently. Do not take a month off of Facebook. Just saying. Yeah, have you noticed when people do that, it creates a disconnect? It's like, even if you're just going to show up once a week, which I don't recommend, don't, you lose your momentum when you do that. So keep showing up consistently. Don't quit just before the miracle. Okay, as I said, marketing is about inspiring people to take action on your expertise. So think about, what do you inspire people to do? Think about your core message. And this is where we come to the 40%, to show up and serve. Educate, inspire, and motivate. And as I said, AI can support your visibility with ease. You can use it to repurpose. Hashtags, just a brief comment on hashtags. Like I said, they're still working. They connect your posts with topics and audiences. They allow users to find you, and they tell the platforms who to show your content to. The strategy that I've been recommending is, you want to think about, what does your content relate to? Hashtags for the problems to be solved and for the target audience. So for example, like my hashtags are things like, what the content relates to: social media marketing, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, things like that. The problem: get more clients, get more visibility. That's the problem that my clients have. And for the targeted audience, purpose-driven women entrepreneurs, women entrepreneurs, that kind of thing. So that's what you want to think about in terms of the hashtags. Your strategy for your content: post high quality content regularly. And this is not hard to do. You can create your content and post your content like once a week. You can schedule all of your content. You can't schedule your 50%, but you can schedule this 40%. So you can share valuable content, informative, engaging, maintain a consistent posting schedule, use a mix of content types, articles, etc., and focus on providing solution, answering questions. Share user-generated content. This gets a lot more visibility, which is us, the users, right? So it's testimonials, reviews, lifting other people up, humors and memes that are in your lane, inspirational quotes, heartwarming stories, educational content, personal stories, etc. So this is a great screenshot too. These are great things to share if you're like, I don't even know what to share. And like for example, the post that woman did about my book. You can bet that I'll be sharing that. Share, host live sessions. Now, AI can help you. What I do with AI for this is I will ask for, like, I'll give it a blog and go like, hey, can you give me, 5 90-second video bullet point scripts, things like that, which I don't read, but I use that as a guide. You can use live streaming, engage with your audience in real time, host Q&As. I do a whole unit on video, but video is another really important. I'm just touching on it in one slide here, but I'm telling you, video is huge. And you can download it and share it across all platforms. So stories. I want to talk about stories for a minute. It's one of my pet peeves. So if stories are where, you have those little stories up at the top and you have them on Instagram, a story is only up for 24 hours. So if you are going to share content, in stories, which you should, then also share it on your feed. Because a lot of times if somebody clicks on it, it just goes away. You've probably all had that experience, which is so annoying. So share your stories also in your feed. And, stories are really important. They're great for the algorithms, and some people, that's just all they look at. But you want to make sure the content is in your feed. Use Instagram and Facebook stories. Again, add them to your news feed. Okay, so that's 90% of your time on social media. That is where you are building influence. Now you're 10% promote. It could be a freebie, an event, a product, or some kind of special offer. Use storytelling instead of selling. I'm just going to give you a couple of tips about your promotional posts. So your story is your superpower, and AI cannot replicate that. So when you are sharing your promotional posts, share a personal story about how a product or service helped you or helped someone, rather than just like, here's my thing, buy it. And then I put the link in sometimes, even though we're not supposed to put the link in the post. I do it sometimes. And if you're posting and you're showing up regularly and doing all of the 50%, it's okay to put the link in sometimes. And then sometimes you could put DM me or link in the comments. If you do the link in the comments, make sure you say link in the first comment, because sometimes it's hard for people to find the link. So you would say link in the first comment. Another strategy is, sign up for my coaching program. Instead of that, say, talk about, I remember when I or my client struggled with my social media. Here's how I changed that, and now I help others. So tell a story as opposed to just like the flat out come to my thing. So I know I gave you a ton of information. And so I would like to ask you to put one thing in the chat that you're going to implement from today. Yay, consistency. Yay, stories. Yay, intentional social media. Thank you. All right. And so let's see what else. Okay. So if it's okay, I would love to share with you consistency and play instead of work. Thank you. Yes, Whitney. I would love to share with you what I have to offer if you would like to take the next steps, if that's okay. Okay, thank you. So what I have created is as a program on what to say, where to play, and how to win. It's called my Whole Heart Visibility and Authority Mastery Program. I know that's a mouthful. I got to make a shorter title. I'll have to get with chat on that. So this is a space for heart-centered entrepreneurs who want marketing to feel human and not exhausting. It is structured class, coaching, ongoing support and guidance, clarity and connection, a focused place to grow your message and visibility. There's monthly strategy and teaching every month. Clarity on your message, content planning, engagement, and simple funnels. Strategy, positioning, visibility, growth, and priorities. Growth, focus on authority, opportunities, and revenue generating activities. We have a monthly Q&A and hot seat coaching. The groups are small, so it's not like 100 people in there. We have weekly check-ins. And we have a private heart-centered group where people can connect, and we have bonus masterclasses each month. So what makes my program different, and I really want to highlight this, it's not just another co-work space. It's not a power hour, and it's not just to get it done. It is actually a program including strategic visibility mentorship, resulting in authority building and business growth. And I like to emphasize that because there's a lot of these power hours out there right now, and just sort of like get it done. And this is actually a class with, we have handouts, we have recordings. There's two simple membership options. It's $5.97 a month, $5.97 for 6 months, or $9.97 for a year. We meet live on Zoom. All meetings are recorded. It's the first and third Tuesday from 9 to 10:30, or the second and fourth Wednesday from 11:30 to 1. If you're ready for a steadier, more human way to stay visible, then this is the program for you. over time, what you're going to walk away with is clarity instead of second guessing, consistency without pushing, and confidence in your message, increased authority and visibility, increased opportunities and business growth. So it's not just about information, it's about your relationship with visibility. And the thing that I really want to emphasize about this program is that I've been doing this for 20 years. So you get basically all of my best of content. It's you get handouts, you get templates, you don't have to reinvent the wheel. Wherever you're at in your business, you're going to move forward. We focus on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, and YouTube. And we have like what we'll do is we'll have a whole month focus on something. So for example, this month we focused on LinkedIn and Facebook refresher. We have editorial calendar focus. We focus on how to promote your freebie without feeling salesy and icky. We focus on how to really engage. And each month, besides the 2 classes, there's a master class where basically I'm just going to teach whatever I feel like everybody needs to learn because that's how it goes. I mean, we have an AI master class. We have a master class on how to promote your book, podcast, or get more speaking gigs. Pretty much whatever you need to know about how to grow your online presence is what we're going to be talking about. So I just want to say this one thing in closing, which is that the entrepreneurs who will thrive in 2026 are not the ones that are posting the most. They're the ones who speak with clarity, show up consistently, engage like real humans, and they use AI for support and not for identity. So I would love to have you join. Like I said, the Wednesday session is just starting. So you can see, you're going to get an email after this class that has all the information on it and a link to go to the website. If you want to sign up for the class, then I would love to have a conversation with you and get you set up in there. So I'll probably be connecting with each of you after this anyway. And this is also just, I'm putting the slide up as a way to stay connected with my website, my book, etc. The class is on the website, and I'm going to put the link in the chat. And I would love to know if anybody has any questions. Questions, comments, realizations, ahas, excitement.
Diana, I don't think I've ever attended one of your webinars where I don't walk away with so much to immediately go and apply. And I
Nice.
appreciate that about you.
Thank you. It's so good to see you, Stephanie. That's great to hear.
Yes, so much great content, and I got an allergy to my Instagram, so this is helping me to restart and recommit. So I appreciate
Great.
that, and hopefully at some point soon I can join
Good.
the program. Yeah,
Awesome.
And
I
the
do have
program,
payment plans. I'm sorry?
the program meets
Twice a month.
Okay.
It's Tuesday, first and third Tuesday from 9 to 10:30, or second and fourth Wednesday from 11:30 to 1.
Okay, great. Thank you.
And yeah, great. I would love to have you. And Whitney, let's just have a conversation offline and talk about it.
Okay, great.
All right. Well, thank you everybody for attending. It's so great to have you here. And the video will come out in the next hour or so. And for everybody who is watching, thank you for watching the replay. And I will hopefully see you all soon.
Okay, thanks.
You're welcome. Take care.